The Immersive Musical Endeavor was a 4-week program designed specifically for students who struggle with performance anxiety and stress as it's related to getting on stage for a concert and performing in front of a group of people. So I developed this program because performance anxiety is something that I've struggled with for years, and over the years I've found some specific techniques and methods that really helped me personally develop my own internal confidence and my ability to stay present in a situation that gets kind of a little bit stressful. So during the 4 weeks of this course, each week there was kind of a different theme that we talked about in the classes, and there was sort of a homework assignment every week that students had. So for example, week 1 was removing the mask. So this is talking all about stepping into authenticity. So, my thought is, if it's hard to look your bandmates in the eye while playing, how hard will it be to look at some stranger in the crowd while you're playing and express, like, stage presence, right? Yeah, getting on stage is, it's a vulnerable place because you're exposing your craft and your art form to a large group of people. Sometimes you might know them, sometimes they might be strangers. Worry about it.
Because you don't have a plan of what you're gonna do.
Okay. Is it also scary that you feel like you're gonna mess up and not do it good enough?
Mm-hmm.
Who else feels that way when they're put on the spot?
Oh boy.
Yeah. I think that one good technique for improvisation and music specifically is keeping it simple. During the 4 weeks of the program, each week we talked about a different theme that relates to stress and anxiety reduction and performance confidence. So, for example, the first week of the class we talked about removing the mask, stepping into fear and authenticity, and did some exercises with breath work and some different techniques that we could use to center ourselves whenever we're about to enter into a stressful situation. A few of the students really took to the practices from the very beginning. I know there were a few students who were really looking forward to the yoga meditation element.
But I was really excited when Matt said he was going to integrate a bunch of meditation stuff in this camp, so I was interested in learning performance skills.
Some of the students were a little bit on the fence.
I've never done yoga before, and I don't know if it will affect us when we're performing, but maybe it will because Matt's making us do it.
But I was very fortunate that everybody who signed up for this program was a student that I had worked with in the past. So I already had a relationship with them. I already kind of knew their personalities, I knew their strengths, I knew some of the areas that they needed to work on. So I was kind of able to tailor to each student different ways of getting through to them and helping them out with their individual things that they needed work with. One of the students who did the camp, his name was Colin, and he was specifically excited about doing this program because he wanted to learn a lot more about the stress reduction and anxiety reduction techniques related to performance.
Yeah, I signed up for the I.M.E because I've had anxiety for really as long as I can remember, and it always sucks, especially when it comes to performing. And I just want to get over that feeling. I want to get over that shackles. Yeah.
And when he first signed up for the camp, he was actually kind of a little hesitant about it. He didn't really think that he was going to be able to get what he needed out of the program. But it became very clear throughout the weeks with not only the instruction and technique that I was giving, but he also got some really good instruction from Tucker Landis, who is a graduate from Penn State with a degree in the neuroscience of music. So Colin and Tucker had a really great conversation the one night. Colin also got to experience some yoga with a trained yoga instructor named Kathleen I.M.E, and I think that he got a lot out of that as well. And, one of the nights after class, Colin stuck around afterwards, and him and I just talked for a little while, and he was kind of letting me know about like some personal things that were going on. And I felt a lot of gratitude because he really was expressing how this program was helping him, not only as a musician, but also, sort of in these other areas of life that are maybe kind of intense to deal with sometimes. And for Colin, it all came together the night of the show when he finally was able to get up there on stage and just authentically express himself in front of an entire room of people. So I'm really proud of Colin and the work that he did. And Colin, if you're watching this, I wish you luck in the future, man. See ya.
The I.M.E was great. I was a little nervous. I was a bit pessimistic about it. I thought we weren't going to do that good, but it was the best concert I've had. And I've had maybe like 7 concerts before this. This was amazing. There was so much improvement. And I didn't even know. In the practices, I didn't even know that I was making an improvement until I got on the stage and I just let go of everything. It was amazing. Like, words can't describe how I felt on that stage. It was like bliss. Like I was happy to perform and not anxious for once. So thank you, Matt. Thank you everyone who took part in the I.M.E. Thank you to my bandmates. It was an amazing experience.
Hi, my name is Tucker Landis, and I was an instructor at the I.M.E. I was responsible for talking to the students about what it means to perform and how that affects our brain, and the importance of music for therapy, and maybe even dealing with our own anxieties and nervousness. And a big theme of the I.M.E. was overcoming the fear of being on stage. And I think that talking about the neuroscience of music was important for that, and it was important how I brought it to the students in a way that was accessible to them, something they could actually use while they were on stage, and something they could take with them going forward. So basically what I talked about with the students was why we play music, how humans have ended up playing music over the thousands of years we've been developing our brains. And we kind of talked about music as an avenue for dealing with our emotions, and how music is a direct link to the emotional systems of a human. So basically when they're on stage, the students need to be understanding that they're affecting the audience's emotions with their own emotional experience, and the only way we can convey specific emotions is if we are playing the music really well with feeling and emotion ourselves. So a big theme in the classes were talking about how we feel on stage affects the people in the audience. They can sense how we feel on stage. Overall, the experience of the I.M.E. for me as an instructor was wonderful. I got to explore what it's like to teach the neuroscience of music to teenage musicians, which is something I haven't done before. So I was really excited to have the opportunity to share some knowledge with them, things that have helped me. And I think the I.M.E. going forward is something that is important for communities that value music and music instruction. So all of the elements that were included in the I.M.E. were really important for the course to be successful, and I'm so happy and grateful to be a part of it. Thank you. My name's Tucker Landis, and I'll see you next time.
An element of the immersive musical endeavor that was really powerful for me was that all of the students who signed up were students that I've worked with in the past. However, most of these students have only really seen me in a music teacher point of view.
Each other, don't look away. I know, it's really weird, right?
So it was really special for me to kind of let them in a little bit more on some of the non-musical things that have helped me with this performance anxiety and how to be more authentic on stage. So that was one of the big reasons why I wanted Doppler Poppins to perform at the end of the concert, because I wanted to showcase to the students, not only am I a teacher and a practitioner of music and yoga and mindfulness, but I'm also a performer. And these skill sets that they learned can be applied no matter how long you've been playing an instrument. Whether you've been playing your instrument for 1 hour or you've been playing your instrument for your whole life, the mindfulness stuff, the connection of mind, body, and the breathing, it's all accessible at any time. And so that was a really powerful experience for me to be able to relate that to all these students that I knew so well. One of my favorite things about the I.M.E. was the special guest teachers that I got to bring in. It was really amazing to have Jeff Gibble come in and work with the guitar players and the bass players, and have Jeff's expertise and knowledge as a musician.
Last time because
Is it still C sharp before?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still that the only thing that's changing is not F sharp, it's actually
Yeah.
It was also great to bring in Mary Ann Cleary. This was the first time that I worked directly with a vocal teacher, and her expertise with vocal technique and practices and exercises for singers is something that I'm not super confident with. So it was amazing to be able to bring her in and have her help out all the students with that.
So when we first had the orientation in the beginning of the I.M.E. Workshop, I could tell a lot of the kids weren't very, they're more shy, really timid. And it was just so fascinating and really fulfilling to see the boost of confidence that they had just with working with each other, working with the teachers and the coaches, and they were so receptive. And the show yesterday, I was just so proud, to be a part of that and to see them perform such an amazing performance, and their confidence just went through the roof. And it was so rewarding to see, and it's something that I wish I could have been involved with as a child, but I'm so glad that I can be a part of it now and help, build their confidence and just help them along their way. Music is great, and it should be a part of everybody's life.
Bringing in the yoga teachers to work with the students in the mindfulness practices, the body movement, the meditation stuff was really amazing. So I want to give special shout out to Aaron Bear Berger for coming in and working with the students.
My name is Aaron Berger. I was involved in Matt's I.M.E. project by being a yoga and meditation teacher for the kids. And as a musician myself, I find meditation and daily yoga practice very useful in overcoming stage fright and overcoming performance anxiety. And I hope that my interest and my curiosity in the science and the practice of yoga and meditation translated to benefits for the students. I saw some students meditating before performance, before practice, and I think it's a really great way that they just kind of hone in their presence. It was a lot of fun to be a part of it. Definitely look forward to working further with Matt in the future.
And I also want to thank Kathleen Amon for coming in. Thank you both so much for your expertise and knowledge in the fields of mind-body connection. The I.M.E. finished off with a concert performance at Cafe 210 West in State College. and I was extremely thrilled with the way that the bands performed and handled the situation in a professional manner, because they were on a real stage with real professional audio equipment, professional lighting, working with a professional audio technician, and they had to set up the gear, they had to sound check, they had to perform, and the whole purpose of the program was to prepare them for that moment of walking out on stage and feeling confident, feeling authentic, feeling like they could express themselves in front of a crowd of friends and family and the public at large. We had a really big turnout. There was, the whole room was packed at Cafe 210. So I want to thank the whole staff at Cafe for being able to work with me on that, and dealing with all the kids running around the venue. And last but not least, I want to thank Austin Finley, my cameraman, for working with me through this whole program and putting all this content together so that you guys can check it out. Alright, so here we are at the final celebration for the Immersive Musical Endeavor. All the families and all the kids are back here enjoying a nice feast and just kind of celebrating the performance that we had last night. I'm extremely happy. Everything went very, very well, and it all went according to plan. There weren't any snags or anything too crazy happening. And yeah, I'm just very grateful for all the teachers who helped out, all the parents for bringing their kids around, all of the students who participated in the program, my cameraman, Austin, and the venue, Cafe 210, Center Learning Community for allowing us to do the classes there, Robert M. Sides for providing some musical equipment, and this was a lot of work. This was the biggest project that I've ever done, especially since I basically organized and created the whole thing myself. So there's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and I'm just just sort of like trying to soak in the fact that it's all over now, and looking forward to where this takes me in the future and how I'll grow the program for the next time around that I do it. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. The Immersive Musical Endeavor, I.M.E. How do we remove the mask and express ourselves authentically, even though we may feel some performance anxiety, some nervousness coming up? What are tools and strategies that we can develop to combat that and be Bumblebee? How can we express ourselves authentically in the moment and be true to who we are? So thanks for watching, everybody. My name is Matt Price, and if you're interested in any of the services that I offer, check out mattpricedrumming.com. Not only do I provide band coaching programs and services, I also do drum circle facilitation in a wide range of settings, and I work with students and people of all ages, all skill levels, and I also teach private drum set lessons. So thanks, everybody. Take care.
So I was really interested in the I.M.E. for my kids because of the mindfulness factor and just the focus on whole being, wellness, and addressing performance anxiety, because that has been an issue that my kids have dealt with in the past, and I really liked the idea of bringing other teachers in to help support them through that process. And the 4 weeks was a real evolution. I was able to see real strong gains, I guess, in how they perform, how they approach performing. My one son even talked about doing some of the meditative breathing when he was weightlifting in class at school, so I could see them starting to apply some of those principles to other parts of their lives. So it just met all our expectations. The performance was fantastic. I think everyone was just blown away by what they were able to do.
That Matt added to the program, like the yoga or the mindfulness, but So we would sort of like make fun of it at home, and he'd be like, oh, I hate yoga. We had to do yoga tonight. But then I think what I saw him doing was actually focusing more on his music, and I actually saw him sort of, so I think he just improved in terms of like his musical skills and his ability to focus and learn. So I was really impressed by just how much he learned over the course of the program. And then on stage, I felt like he looked a lot more confident. And like just a few minutes ago, when he was sharing about like a problem he had with his guitar and how he overcame it, like I didn't even know that happened. So to me, like I think he really learned a lot about managing his feelings when he's up on stage. And I think that was great. And I think that's a lesson that whether he goes on to become a musician or not, it's a good lesson just to learn for life. So I really appreciated the program for Ben. It was great.